The description for you from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 9, and it beautifully encapsulates the nature of the Supreme Person, often referred to as Brahman or God, in Hinduism. Here's a breakdown of the different attributes mentioned. 1. Knows everything. The Supreme Person possesses omniscience, meaning they have complete and absolute knowledge of everything that has been, is, and will ever be. This knowledge transcends all limitations of time, space, and causality. 2. Oldest. The Supreme Person is eternal and beyond the limitations of time. They existed before the creation of the universe and will remain even after its dissolution. 3. Controller. The Supreme Person is the ultimate ruler and orchestrator of everything that happens in the universe. Every event, big or small, unfolds according to their divine will. 4. Smaller than the smallest. While often described as vast and all-encompassing, the Supreme Person is also said to be subtler than the subtlest. They can exist within the tiniest particle and pervade the entire universe simultaneously. 5. Maintainer of everything. The Supreme Person sustains and nourishes all creation. They are the source of life and energy for all beings. 6. Beyond material conception. The Supreme Person cannot be fully comprehended by the human mind, which is limited by its material nature. They are beyond the grasp of our senses and intellect. 7. Inconceivable. While possessing various attributes and qualities, the Supreme Person ultimately transcends all definition and categorization. They are a mystery that can only be experienced through intuition and faith. 8. Always a person. Although often described in impersonal terms, the Supreme Person is ultimately personal. They are a being with whom one can develop a loving relationship. 9. Luminous. Like the sun, the Supreme Person radiates immense spiritual light that dispels the darkness of ignorance. Their presence brings joy, peace, and enlightenment. 10. Transcendental. The Supreme Person exists beyond the material realm and is not subject to its limitations. They are pure consciousness and absolute bliss. These attributes offer a glimpse into the nature of the Supreme Person, but they are ultimately just pointers to a reality that is far beyond human comprehension. The true essence of the Supreme Person can only be experienced through deep meditation and spiritual practice. Here are some additional details that you might find helpful. 1. The Bhagavad Gita is a sacred Hindu scripture that is considered to be a dialogue between Lord Krishna, an avatar of the Supreme Person, and Arjuna, a warrior prince. 2. The verse you quoted is part of a larger section of the Bhagavad Gita that describes the path of yoga, which is a practice for attaining union with the Supreme Person. 3. There are many different ways to meditate on the Supreme Person, and each individual must find the approach that works best for them. Some common methods include chanting mantras, focusing on the breath, and visualizing the form of the Supreme Person. I hope this information is helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions.